heart of a noisy city stood a crowded public compound where everybody knew everybody. The compound was not beautiful, but there was about 20 rooms in the compound occupied by families, students, traders, and people who had arrived in the city with dreams bigger than their own pockets. But among all the tenants, there was one man everybody knew. His name was Titus. Titus, the lying mouth. But nobody called him Titus. Everybody called him Mr. T. Not because he was rich. No. He was called Mr. T because once Titus opened his mouth, nobody could easily close it. Titus could talk from morning until night. He could talk about politics. He could talk about American. He could talk about Dubai, places he has never gone before.
You people think I am joking because you see me living
places he has never went to. He could talk about cars he had never even driven. He could talk about houses he had never entered in his life. And most importantly, Titus could talk about money when he was the poorest man in the compound. According to Titus, money was practically his closest relative. If anyone asked him how much money he had, he would laugh. Money. He would adjust his shirt proudly. My brother, money is not my problem. My problem is how to hide it. That statement alone could make the compound burst into laughter because everyone knew Titus. They knew the tiny room where he lived. They knew the old mattress he had been using for years. They knew that slippers had been repaired for so many times that the original sole was almost completely gone. Yet Titus insisted he was a billionaire, not an ordinary billionaire, a secret billionaire. And according to him, his wealth was so enormous that he had become a target. Why do you think I don't drive my car around? Titus once asked the tenant. Everyone stared at him. What car? Mr. T. Titus looked offended. My Range Rover, of course. A young man named Chike almost swallowed his drinking water. Your what? Range Rover? Ah, Mr. T, Mr. T. What is it? Titus looked left, then right, then lowered his voice. Come closer. Hidden. Where? That is classified information. Everyone laughed. Titus did not. He folded his arms. You people think I am joking because you are seeing me living here. You don't understand that rich people sometimes disguise themselves. Disguise themselves as what? Mama Ngozi asked. Titus smiled. As ordinary people. Ordinary people. The compound erupted in laughter. But Titus had another explanation. He claimed he was hiding his wealth because thieves and kidnappers were everywhere. According to Titus, 3 different kidnappers gang has been monitoring him. According to Titus, armed robbers had already tried to break into his imaginary mansion. And according to Titus, even his supposed business partners did not even know the full extent of his fortune. Nobody believed him. But everybody enjoyed listening, especially because Titus always had a new story. And the most hilarious part was that every story somehow ended with money. Every morning, before the sun became too hot, Titus would step outside the room wearing a faded shirt, trousers that had lost their original color, and slippers that slapped loudly against the ground. He would sit on the broken chair outside his room and began his daily performance. Good morning, billionaires. Nobody answered. Titus would continue. People are too quiet this morning. Money is supposed to make people happy. Chike, who sold phone accessory in a small kiosk near the compound entrance, would shake his head. Mr. T, please, don't start today. Start what? Your stories. Titus would laugh. My brother, I don't tell stories. I tell people about my life. Which life? My real life. Chike smiled. Ah, Oga T. Okay, tell us. Titus leaned back. My company is currently expanding. Which company this time around? Titus paused. That question is too direct. Why? Security reason. Everyone nearby laughed. Titus continued as if nobody had spoken. I have properties in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, and Asaba. Mama Ngozi, who was sweeping the compound, looked up. Then why are you still owing your room rent? Titus cleared his throat. Rent is different. How? It's financial strategy. What strategy, Mr. T? Rich people don't rush to pay everything. Chike laughed. You have owned landlord for 6 months. Exactly what? I am testing the landlord's patience. The compound exploded in huge laughter. This man is so funny. Even the landlord, Mr. Okoro, who had been passing by, stopped. Hey, Titus. Ah, sir, Mr. Okoro, you said you are testing my patience. Titus stood immediately. No, sir, I was talking about another landlord. You owe me 6 months' rent. Titus smiled. I will pay. When? Very soon. You said that last month. My money was delayed, sir. Which money? The money from abroad. I can't hear you, sir. For security reason, I need to lower my voice. The money from abroad. Mr. Okoro stared at him. Which abroad, Titus? Titus looked around carefully. Canada. Chike burst out laughing. Last month it was Dubai. Titus pointed at him. Don't expose confidential financial information. Everybody laughed again. That was Titus. Always rich, always broke, always explaining. At the entrance of the compound stood Mama Titi's small roadside food stand. Mama Titi was short, strong woman in her late 50s who has spent most of her life selling food. Every morning she arranged steamy bowls of moi moi, akara, pap, rice, beans, boiled eggs and bread. Her moi moi was famous. People came from nearby streets just to buy it. But there was one customer Mama Titi did not like, Titus. Not because Titus disliked her food. Quite the opposite. Titus loved Mama Titi's moi moi. The problem was that Titus loved it too much. He would eat it without paying. One Tuesday morning, Titus appeared at her store. Mama Titi! Mama the Titi! Mama Titi looked up. No, Titus, not today. Titus stopped. I haven't even asked anything. I know what you want. What do I want? Moi moi. Moi moi. Titus, it is moi moi. You know me too well. Mama Titi pointed towards the road. Go. Leave my shop. Mama T. Ah. Mama Titi. I said go. I am hungry. Go and eat your millions. Titus laughed. My money is not with me. Your money is always not with you. It is in the bank. Then withdraw it. I cannot. Why? Security. Mama Titi rolled her eyes. Which security? Titus. Mama Titi rolled her eyes. Which security? Titus. Kidnappers. Mama Titi picked up a wooden spoon. Titus, if you touch my moi moi without paying, I will use this spoon to knock sense into your millionaire head. Titus laughed. Mama Titi, just give me one. No. Okay, half. I said no. One small one, just a tiny piece. No. I will pay later. Get out of my shop, Titus. Titus looked disappointed. Mama Titi, you don't trust me. Of course I don't. Why? Because last week you ate 3 moi moi and told me your driver would come and pay. I was expecting him. Your driver. Yes, which driver? My personal driver. Where is your personal driver? Titus paused. He went somewhere. Where? His house. Mama Titi stared at him. Then she burst out laughing. You were a useless liar. I am not. Titus laughed too. But before he could move closer to the food, Mama Titi raised her spoon. Don't even try it. Titus quickly stepped backward. Okay. He walked away. 5 minutes later, Mama Titi saw Titus hiding behind a concrete electric pole. Titus, what? Are you watching my moi moi? No. What are you doing there, inspecting the pole? Mama Titi screamed. Get away from my shop. Titus ran. One evening, Titus gathered several men around him. His voice has become usually serious. My brothers, I need to tell you something. Chike looked suspicious. What is it, Mr. T? My life is in danger. Everyone became quiet. Titus looked around before continuing. I am being watched. By who? Thieves. Which thieves? Professional thieves. Chike laughed. Mr. T, you don't even have a television. Titus frowned. That's because I am hiding my assets. Which assets? Titus leaned forward. I cannot tell you. Why? Security. Someone laughed. Titus continued. You people think I am poor because I live here. Nobody answered him. But the truth is that I am extremely wealthy. Chike folded his arms. How wealthy? Very wealthy, Titus replied. How much? Titus looked around, then whispered. Over 100 million naira. The men stared at him. One man coughed. Another covered his mouth. Chike finally asked, where? Titus pointed towards his chest. In my account. Which bank? Several banks. Which one? Confidential. Can you show us your account balance? Mr. T laughed. You think a millionaire walks around showing people bank balance? Chike laughed. You don't have to show us. Good. But pay the 2,000 naira you owe me. Titus smile disappear. That is different. How? I don't carry cash. Chike laugh. Of course, Mr. T. Actually, I have to go. Where? To secure my properties. Which properties? What properties? Titus pointed vaguely towards the sky, everywhere. Then he walked away. Nobody followed. But that night, something strange happened. Titus did not sleep in his room. He dragged his mattress into a tiny storage room behind the main building. When one of the tenants asked why, Titus whispered, "Kidnappers." The tenant laughed. Mr. T said, "I am serious. Why would kidnappers want you?" Titus looked offended. "Because of my money." The tenant shook his head. "Good night, Mr. T." Titus entered the storage room. He locked the door. Then he sat on the mattress in darkness. There was no smile on his face. No jokes, no laughter. He looked frightened. Because although his stories were lies, Titus had recently created a problem he could no longer control. He had told too many people that he was rich, and one particular man had started believing him, a stranger. A man who had recently rented a room in a neighboring compound. A man who watched Titus carefully. His name was Baba Joe. The following morning, Titus continued pretending everything was normal. He sat outside his room. "Good morning." Nobody answered. He looked towards the entrance. Baba Joe was standing there, watching. Titus smiled nervously. "Good morning, brother." Baba Joe nodded. "You are Titus, right?" "Yes. People call me Mr. T." "I heard you were a rich man." Titus laughed. "Who told you that?" "People." Titus looked around, then smiled. "People talk too much." Baba Joe stepped closer. "I heard you have over 100 million naira." Titus laughed again. "People exaggerate." "How much do you have, Mr. T?" There he made the biggest mistake of his life. Enough. Enough that could feed everybody in this compound. Baba Joe smiled. "What does that mean?" "It means I am comfortable." "Where do you keep your money?" Titus had jumped. "Bank." "Which bank?" "Several." Baba Joe nodded, then walked away. Titus watching. At that moment, Titus realized something. His lies had stopped being funny. He had spent years telling people he was wealthy because he wanted admiration. But now someone dangerous might actually believe. That evening, Titus locked his door before sunset. He pushed his bed against it, then placed a heavy bucket beside the entrance. He turned off the light and sat quietly. Outside, the compound continued its usual life. Someone shouted at a child. A generator started. A radio played music. But Titus heard every sound differently. Every footstep made him nervous. Every knock made him jump. At around midnight, Titus heard something. Scrap. Someone was moving outside his window. Titus froze. His heart began beating rapidly. Then came a whisper. "Titus!" Titus covered his mouth. "Titus!" He remained silent. The whisper came again. "We know you have money." Titus nearly fainted. He crawled backward. The voice continued. "Open the door." Titus' body trembled. For years, he had claimed to be hiding from kidnappers. Now, real men were standing outside his room, and they believed his lie. Titus did not know what to do. He wanted to scream, but fear locked his throat. He looked around the room. There was nothing useful. No weapon, no money, no secret safe, no expensive possession, nothing. The richest man in the compound had suddenly become the poorest because everything he had told people was imaginary. The men outside knocked harder. "Open!" Titus whispered. "Jesus! Jesus, come to my rescue! Jesus!" Then he remembered something. Mama Titi. Her phone stand was directly beside the compound gate. If he could reach her, perhaps she could raise an alarm. But how? The men were outside his door. Then Titus noticed the small window behind him. It was narrow, very narrow, but it was too thin. He pushed it open slowly. The frame cracked. Nobody outside reacted. He climbed through. His foot landed on a small metal roofing sheet. The sheet made a loud sound. "Who is there?" Titus panicked. He jumped down. He ran. He ran through the darkness like a man possessed, straight towards Mama Titi's store. Mama Titi, who had been sleeping beside her food stand, woke up. "Who is that?" "Mama Titi, help me, help me." Mama Titi stood up. "What happened?" "Kidnappers." Mama Titi grabbed her wooden spoon. "Where?" "In my room." "Why?" "They want my money." Mama Titi stared at him, then slapped her forehead. "Your money?" "Which money?" "My money." Mama Titi stared harder. Titus, you told everybody you had 100 million. I know. You told us you had properties. You told us you had companies. You told us you had a Range Rover. Mama Titi look around. Where are they? Titus' eyes filled with fear. I don't have them. Mama Titi mouth dropped open. What? I lied. Then Mama Titi shouted, you lied? Yes. You mean you are not a millionaire? You mean you don't have a Range Rover? You mean you don't have a house in Abuja? You mean all those things you have been telling us are lies? Titus nodded. Mama Titi raised her spoon. You have been eating my moi on credit because you are pretending to be rich. Mama Titi chased him. Titus! He ran very fast. I will kill you today. Mama Titi ran behind him. I am not a thief. You are worse than a thief. People began opening their doors. What happened? He said he is not a millionaire. Everybody rushed outside. Chike came running. What? Mama Titi shouted. Mr. T is fake. Mr. T is fake. Everyone stared at Titus. Titus stood in the middle of the compound breathing heavily. His clothes were dirty. His face was covered in sweat. His pride has disappeared. Finally, Titus raised his hand. I lied. I am not a millionaire. I don't own a company. I don't own a Range Rover. I don't have houses in Abuja. I don't have millions in my bank. Chike slowly shook his head. I knew all those things were all lies. Then why did you lie? Titus looked down. His answer was now honest. Because I wanted people to respect me. I thought if people believe I was rich, they would think I was important. I was so ashamed of being poor, Mr. T said. Nobody spoke. I was ashamed that I couldn't afford many things. I was ashamed that I owned rent. I was ashamed that I couldn't buy food whenever I wanted. So I created another lie. I kept telling lies until I started believing them myself. Chike sighed. Then asked, what about the people outside your room? Titus suddenly remembered. The kidnappers. Everyone became alert. What kidnappers? Titus pointed towards his room. They are there. Several men grabbed sticks. The landlord called the police. Within minutes, officers arrived. The men outside Titus' room were arrested. And during question, the truth became even more shocking. They had been planning to rob Titus because they believed his stories. One of them admitted. We heard the man was rich. Everyone turned towards Titus. Mama Titi looked at him. Your mouth nearly killed you, Mr. T. Yes, Mama Titi. The following month, the entire compound felt different. People still laugh, people still talk. But Titus no longer sat outside boasting. He sat quietly. Mama Titi eventually approached him. Mr. T. Yes, Mama Titi, you own me. Titus sighed. How much? Mama Titi counted her fingers. 3 moi from last week. Titus nodded. Okay. 2 akara, 5 eggs. Titus looked shocked. 5 what? Yes, I only ate 2. Mama Titi stared at him. You want to start lying again? Okay. Titus quickly kept quiet. 5. Mama Titi smiled. Good. Titus reached into his pocket. He brought out the little money he had. Mama Titi counted it. Then looked at him. You don't have enough. I know, she smiled. Pay what you can. Titus looked surprised. Mama Titi, are you serious? Don't misunderstand me. I still don't like your lying mouth. She handed him a bowl of moi, but hunger is hunger. Titus smiled. Thank you. Mama Titi pointed her spoon at him. Don't say you will pay tomorrow if you won't. I won't. And don't tell me you are secretly rich. And don't tell anybody you own a Range Rover. Mr. T replied, I won't. Mama Titi nodded. Very good. Then I think there is hope for you. Titus smiled. His smile was not genuine. One afternoon, Chike saw Titus carrying a heavy carton. Mr. T! Don't call me that, Chike smiled. Why? My name is Titus. Ah! You don't want me to call you Mr. T again. You are finally retired from Mr. T. Yes. What happened to the millionaire? Titus smiled. He died. Everybody laughed. Even Titus. Then Mama Titi shouted from her food stand. Titus! Yes, Mama Titi. Come and carry this sack of beans. Titus walked over. Yes, Mama Titi. After that, come and eat. Titus smiled. Will I pay? Mama Titi laughed. Yes, of course. Everybody laughed again. Hi, bestie. Thank you very much for watching my story. Please don't forget to share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't also forget to turn on the notification button to get notified for more interesting stuff. Drop all your thoughts in the comment section about Mr. T. Bye.